You might remember the 1980s for wild fashion and synth pop, but for bike lovers, it was so much more. This was the decade that gave birth to legends. Machines that didn't just go fast, they redefined what speed meant. They were raw, unfiltered beasts that shook the streets, scared the competition, and left a mark so deep, riders still talk about them today. Here are 20 of the fastest motorcycles from the 1980s that we want back. Number 20, 1980 Suzuki GS 1100E. Our countdown opens with Suzuki's GS 1100E. This beast packed an air-cooled inline-4 displacing 1,101 cc, churning out around 100 horsepower. Its 0 to 60 miles per hour sprint in roughly 4.9 seconds felt like a lightning bolt on two wheels back in 1980. Beyond the raw numbers, the GS 1100E dazzled with its muscular tank, chunky chrome exhausts, and a comfy, upright riding position. Perfect for blasting down open highways. Sure, it wasn't the slickest in the corners, but its torquey power band and rock-solid reliability made it an instant hit with weekend warriors and long-haul travelers alike. You could cruise all day without fatigue, thanks to that plush dual-seat setup. And when you twisted the throttle, the distinctive four-cylinder roar was pure adrenaline. It may be slower than some of its rivals, but its blend of comfort, dependable power, and that unmistakable Suzuki growl still earns it a spot at number 20. But can the next bike in our countdown shave a few tenths off that sprint time? Let's see. Number 19, 1984 Yamaha FJ 1100. Rolling in at number 19, the Yamaha FJ 1100 combined sport bike aggression with sport touring comfort. Underneath that angular, full-fairing body lay a 1090cc air-cooled inline-4, delivering about 95 horsepower. Amazingly, it dispatched 0 to 60 miles per hour in roughly 5 seconds. Impressive for a leader-class bike of its era. What set the FJ 1100 apart was its Genesis engine design, featuring a downdraft carburetor layout for more efficient, high RPM breathing. Comfortable clip-on bars and a relaxed foot peg position ensured you didn't feel like a pretzel after a long day's ride. Plus, Yamaha's anti-dive forks were cutting-edge tech in '84, helping to keep the front end steady under heavy braking. And let's not forget that bold two-tone paint scheme, so 70s chic, yet undeniably 80s in spirit. It might not out-accelerate the pure blood sport bikes on this list, but its mix of speed, handling, and real-world usability makes the FJ 1100 a sleeper hit at number 19. Ready for a big leap up in our countdown? Number 18, 1984 Kawasaki GPZ 750 Turbo. At number 18, Kawasaki's GPZ 750 Turbo turned the middleweight class on its head. Its water-cooled, turbocharged 738cc inline-4 pumped out a staggering 112 horsepower stock, enough for a 0 to 60 mile per hour time near 4.7 seconds. Brutal acceleration for 1984. The blow-through turbo system, complemented by an air-assisted suspension, made it surprisingly civil in the corners. With tubular steel frame rigidity and triple Brembo disc up front, you could exploit that boost without fearing for your life. The sleek fairing and aerodynamic profile looked like the future had arrived, and it had. This was one of the earliest mass-produced turbo bikes to hit the streets. Cruise control wasn't standard, but the comfy saddle and adjustable windscreen meant you could still tackle fast touring duties in style. Sure, turbo lag required a delicate wrist, but once you nailed the power band, the GPZ's 750 Turbo unleashed a fury few bikes could match. That combination of raw thrust and surviving sophistication earns it number 18 on our list. Next up, we go back to Suzuki's legend, the GSX R750 at number 17. Number 17, 1985 Suzuki GSX R750. Number 17 brings us the bike that essentially invented the modern sports bike, the 1985 Suzuki GSX R750. At 749cc, its oil and air-cooled SP engine made about 100 horsepower, enabling a lightning-fast 0 to 60 miles per hour in roughly 4.6 seconds, blistering for the mid-1980s. What truly set the GSX R750 apart was its revolutionary aluminum frame, slashing weight to just over 180 kilograms, dry. It felt razor sharp in corners, yet still friendly enough for spirited road bikes. Clip-on sat just high enough for a sporty position without crushing your wrists, and that minimal rear-set passenger peg arrangement signaled race bred at a glance. Drum brakes were out, replaced by powerful dual discs up front, providing confidence-inspiring stopping power. And let's talk styling. The GSX-R's half fairing was a perfect blend of form and function, channeling air to the engine while looking impossibly sleek. It wasn't the absolute quickest leader bike on the runway, but its agility and cutting-edge engineering make it a legend. Number 16, 1985 Yamaha VMAX. Sliding in at number 16 is Yamaha's VMAX, a true boulevard bruiser with a sport bike heart. Beneath its sculpted tank hid a 1,198cc air-cooled V4, tuned to deliver a massive 145 horsepower and an earth-shaking 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 4.5 seconds, even by today's standard. That's insane for a cruiser-style chassis. The VMAX's intake trumpets were more than just show. They funneled air into those four cylinders with ferocious gusto. Its adjustable monoshock rear and dual discs up front kept things under control, though the beefy power demanded respect. Ergonomically, it blended a laid-back cruiser stance with enough sport bike cues, forward grips, and mid-mounted pegs to let you lean into the turns with confidence. Here's a wild twist. Yamaha almost killed the VMAX before it even hit production. During testing, the V4 engine with the revolutionary V-Boost system delivered such violent surges of power that Japanese engineers feared it was too dangerous for public roads. The bike's brutal acceleration caught even seasoned test riders off guard, and Yamaha's Japan division reported it wanted it canceled. But the US branch pushed back hard, knowing American riders craved exactly that raw, uncontrollable muscle. The result? Yamaha built it, but only for the US. The 1985 VMAX, born in Japan, was never officially released there in its full power form. Imagine creating a legend and then banning it at home. That unique power cruiser niche made the VMAX an instant cult classic, and pairs the raw thrill of acceleration with the sonorous V4 growl that still makes riders grin. It may not have the razor-sharp handling of a pure race replica, but its unfiltered torque rush locks in a place at number 16. Number 15, 1984 Honda VF1000R. At number 15, Honda's VF1000R showed the world that exotic performance wasn't just for European bikes. Its 998cc liquid-cooled V4 produced roughly 120 horsepower, rocketing it from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 4.4 seconds. With full race-style bodywork carrying a double-beam parameter frame, it handled like a dream, with stability at high speeds and razor-sharp cornering precision. Honda engineers even included anti-dive forks and fully adjustable suspension front and rear, tech that trickled down from Honda's racing program. The VF1000R had distinctive square headlights and a tall, flat tank that let you anchor yourself under heavy braking. And yes, despite its race-bred heritage, Honda wrapped it up with reliability that would shame many standard road bikes. 2-into-1 exhaust pipes gave it a neat, purposeful look, while the V4 rumble announced you'd arrived. Now get ready for another Honda masterpiece, RC30. Number 14, 1987 Honda VFR 750R RC30. Number 14 introduces the jewel in Honda's racing crown, the VFR 750R RC30. Only purpose-built to homologate Honda's success in World Superbike, its 748cc liquid-cooled V4 made about 118 horsepower, catapulting from 0 to 60 miles per hour in roughly 4.2 seconds. The RC30's hand-welded aluminum twin-spar frame, single-sided swing arm, and fully adjustable suspension made it a track killer and a showpiece on the street. Unique gear-driven cams meant a crisp throttle response and ear-pleasing mechanical whine at high revs. The twin under-seat exhaust not only looked spectacular but centralized mass for sharper handling. Ergonomically, it was all business. Low clip-ons and rear-set pegs positioned you perfectly for racetrack prowess. But Honda didn't skimp on comfort. A supportive solo seat and manageable power band kept everyday rides blissful. RC30s were jaw-dropping to look at, and their rarity today only adds to the mystique. Number 13, 1987 Ducati 851. Slamming into number 13, Ducati's 851 resurrected the Italian Marquis racing heritage. Its 851cc liquid-cooled V-twin Sport Desmo engine churned out around 93 horsepower, but thanks to that broad torque curve, it blasted 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 4.1 seconds. The 851 introduced fuel injection to Ducati's Desmo lineup, giving smoother throttle response than carburetors ever could. Paired with an innovative trellis frame and high-speed Uhlens suspension, it cornered with the grace of a ballerina, yet could roast rear tires with sheer gusto. Iconic round headlights and a minimalist tall section made it stand out in any MotoGP paddock or city street. Ergonomically, the 851 struck a balance. Sporty clip-ons were forgiving enough for daily jaunts, while aggressive enough for track days. And that signature Desmodromic valve train produced a spine-tingling soundtrack at high revs. It wasn't just fast, it changed Ducati's destiny, paving the way for modern superbikes and locking in number 13 on our list. Number 12, 1983 Kawasaki GPZ 1100. At number 12, Kawasaki's GPZ 1100 combined brute force with surprising finesse. It's a 1089cc air-cooled inline-4 that spewed about 100 horsepower in stock form, yet tuned examples easily topped 110 horsepower, enough to achieve 0 to 60 miles per hour in a blistering 4.0 seconds. Kawasaki's Unitrack single-shock rear and triple disc brakes gave confidence for tackling twisty roads. The GPZ 1100's faux ram air fairing looked aggressive and functional, channeling air for better high-speed stability. Ergonomics struck a middle ground, cruiser comfort at freeway pace, but sport bike aggression for canyon carving. The wide flat seat accommodated two comfortably, making it a favorite for long-distance touring too. While not as exotic as some European rivals, the GPZ 1100's robust engine and rugged build quality meant riders could flog it hard without worry. Plus, that distinctive Kawasaki emerald green paint scheme still turns heads today. Ready for more Italian flair? Number 11 is Honda's CBR 1000F Hurricane. Number 11, 1987 Honda CBR 1000F Hurricane. Beneath its smooth, aerodynamic fairing sat a 998cc liquid-cooled inline-4, whipping out roughly 105 horsepower and blasting 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 3.9 seconds. Stellar performance for a bike built to go the distance. Its Pro-Arm single-sided swing arm and track anti-dive front forks were cutting-edge tech, offering superb handling and rider confidence. Clip-ons were set just high enough for long ride comfort without sacrificing a sporty lean angle, and a plush dual seat meant pillions didn't suffer either. Integrated panniers became an optional factory accessory, making cross-country blasts effortless. The CBR 1000F styling blended curves with function, wind-cheating plexiglass screened riders at triple-digit speeds. And Honda's legendary build quality meant these Hurricanes often still hustle today with minimal maintenance. Number 10, 1988 Bimota YB4EI. Breaking into the top 10, Bimota's YB4EI was a rare jewel, combining Yamaha's proven power plant with Italian flair, with a water-cooled 1000cc inline-4 making around 130 horsepower. It rocketed to 0 to 60 miles per hour in a shockingly quick 3.8 seconds, thanks to its feather-light trellis frame and lightweight bodywork. Bimota's fully adjustable Uhlans suspension front and rear provided unmatched feedback and incredible grip. The YB4EI's minimalist fairing and exposed frame lines screamed race bike at a glance. Ergonomic controls were set up for pure sporting intent. Low clip-ons and rear set pegs demanded an aggressive posture, perfect for carving twisty mountain roads. Yet, Bimota engineers didn't forget about comfort. They tuned the seat foam to absorb road chatter without sacrificing feedback. Handling was so precise that even modern superbikes struggled to match its agility. Only a handful of YB4EIs were ever made, making them treasured collector pieces today. With exotic styling, earth-shattering thrust, and pinpoint handling, Bimota's masterpiece locks in at number 10. Number 9, 1989 Suzuki GSX R1100. At number 9, Suzuki's GSX R1100 took leader bike dominance to new heights. Its revamped 1105cc oil and air-cooled inline-4 churned out about 135 horsepower, catapulting to 0 to 60 in approximately 3.7 seconds. Suzuki's race-proven chassis, aluminum perimeter frame, and fully adjustable suspension handled that power with surprising poise. The sleek, full-fairing sliced through the air, keeping rider fatigue low at high speeds. Ergonomically, the GSX R1100 balanced sporty clip-ons with enough reach to keep long rides bearable. Its lightweight aluminum swing arm and dual front discs provided braking confidence, while the wide rear tire hooked up aggressively on corner exits. And let's not overlook the distinctive GSX-R triple beam headlight, iconic to this day. With its bulletproof engine and track-ready setup, the GSX-R 1100 became a go-to for tuners chasing even more power. This bike's blend of unbridled acceleration, stable chassis, and timeless styling earns it number 9 on our list. Number 8, 1985 Suzuki RG500 Gamma. Coming in at lucky number 8, the Suzuki RG500 Gamma, a true Grand Prix replica for the road. Its heart was a purebred racing machine, a 498cc liquid-cooled 2-stroke square-4 engine screaming out at about 95 horsepower, enough to deliver a face-melting 0 to 60 mph surge in about 3.6 seconds. This wasn't just a sport bike, it was a thinly disguised race weapon. Its lightweight aluminum box section frame and fully floater rear suspension were lifted straight from the racetrack, making it an impossibly flickable corner carver. Ergonomics were uncompromisingly aggressive. Low clip-ons and high rear set pegs demanded a full race tuck. But the real story was the engine's explosive power band. Below 6,000 RPM, it was docile, but once the revs climbed, it unleashed a savage kick that required a skilled hand and immense focus. The sharp crackle of the 4 expansion chambers and the signature haze of blue 2-stroke smoke made it an unforgettable sensory overload. Number 7, 1986 Kawasaki GPZ 1000 RX. Firing into number 7, the Kawasaki GPZ 1000 RX was the big brother to the GPZ 750 Turbo. It's a 997cc inline-4 delivering around 130 horsepower in stock tune, enough to slice 0 to 60 mph in about 3.5 seconds. Kawasaki refined turbo lag with an air assist system that kept boost on tap, while anti-dive forks and a beefy unitrack rear kept chassis dive minimal. The GPZ 1000 RX long, sleek fairing sported integrated radiator ducts for optimal cooling under boost, and that subtle belly pan added to its stealthy look. And here's another unknown twist. The GPZ 1000 RX's production run was relatively short, 1986 to 1988, as it was quickly superseded by the ZX-10 Tomcat. However, the GPZ 900R, the bike it was supposed to replace, continued to be manufactured for many years, even surviving the release of Kawasaki's next flagship, the ZZ-R1100, and staying in production until 2003. Now, in simple words, it sat you in a sport tourer stance, with bars high enough to keep fatigue at bay on longer rides. But twist that throttle in the power band, and you felt jet-like thrust that few bikes could match. Triple disc brakes up front gave the stopping power needed to tame that rush. Despite its weight, the RX's balanced chassis and refined turbo system made it surprisingly nimble. Number 6, 1981 Suzuki GSX 1100 Katana. At number 6, the Suzuki GSX 1100 Katana redefined motorcycle styling forever. Beneath its groundbreaking angular bodywork lay a 1074cc air-cooled inline-4, producing about 100 horsepower and a thrilling 0 to 60 mph in around 3.4 seconds. The Katana's aluminum parameter frame was state-of-the-art, delivering razor-sharp handling that defied its hefty displacement. Clip-ons were set just right for an aggressive yet comfortable stance, and the low, wide handlebars gave superb leverage in corners. Its minimalist seat and tucked exhaust completed that sleek profile, making it look like nothing else on the road, so much so that it inspired futuristic concept art. Braking came courtesy of dual front discs and a single rear disc, providing ample bite for such a powerful machine. And though its looks grabbed headlines, its performance matched the hype, stable at triple-digit speeds yet nimble in tighter bends. The Katana's blend of avant-garde design, solid mid-range torque, and sharp handling secures it at number 6. Number 5, 1986 Suzuki GSX R1100. Halfway through our list at number 5 sits the 1986 GSX R1100, Suzuki's original leader-class sports bike. It's a 1052cc oil and air-cooled inline-4 kicked out roughly 125 horsepower, blasting from 0 to 60 mph in about 3.3 seconds. With its lightweight aluminum frame and clip-on bars, it felt like a 600cc in an 1100cc package. Agile, responsive, and savage. Suzuki's square 4 engine layout provided a broad torque curve, making power delivery both thrilling and manageable. The full fairing was an aerodynamic marvel, while that distinctive square headlight gave it a purposeful stare. Suspension was fully adjustable for both ends, and triple discs up front meant you could scrub speed without drama. Ergonomics struck a perfect balance, race-ready positioning without crushing rider comfort. Tuners of the day loved the GSX R1100 for its durability and potential, squeezing over 150 horsepower from modest mods. Its pioneering role in shaping modern superbikes cements it at number 5. And yes, it still rips. Ready for our top 4? Number 4, 1984 Kawasaki GPZ 900R Ninja. Number 4 honors the bike that launched a legend, the 1984 Kawasaki GPZ 900R, better known as the Ninja. Its liquid-cooled 908cc inline-4 produced about 115 horsepower, whooshing 0 to 60 mph in around 3.1 seconds, unheard of for a factory bike in '84. The Ninja's slim, aerodynamic fairing and hidden headlights gave it a stealthy look, while the twin Keihin CV carbs and 16-valve DOHC heads delivered smooth, high-revving power. Kawasaki's Unitrack rear suspension and anti-dive forks offered rock-solid stability, and the steel double cradle frame balanced rigidity with comfort. Ergonomics were forward-leaning but not punishing, perfect for carving corners or cruising at high speeds. Dual front discs meant confident braking, and the bike's mass centralization made it flickable through technical sections. It was the first production bike to exceed 150 mph, cementing its role as a technological milestone. Can anything top that? Let's turn to Honda's firecracker at number 3. Number 3, 1987 Honda CBR 600F Hurricane. Zooming into our podium at number 3 is the 1987 Honda CBR 600F Hurricane. Compact, quick, and oh so playful. It's a 598cc liquid-cooled inline-4 delivering about 76 horsepower, achieving 0 to 60 miles per hour in a scorching 3.0 seconds thanks to its light 190 kilogram wet weight. The CBR 600F's race-inspired twin-beam frame and pro-arm single-sided swing arm offered razor-sharp precision. Clip-ons placed you in a sporty tuck, yet the adjustable suspension soaked up rough roads with surprising grace. Dual front discs and a single rear disc provided balanced braking performance. Its full fairing was sleek and functional, channeling air to cool both the rider and the engine on hot summer runs. Though not a leader bike, its power-to-weight ratio and flickable handling made it a canyon-carving assassin. Plus, it was remarkably approachable for riders stepping up from smaller machines. Hold on tight, our runner-up is just around the corner. Number 2, 1989 Yamaha FZR 750R OW01. Claiming number 2, Yamaha's FZR 750R OW01 stands as one of the greatest homodulation machines ever made. Its a 749cc liquid-cooled inline-4 churned out a mighty 123 horsepower, rocketing to 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 2.9 seconds, astounding for its size. The OW01's Delta box frame, Uhlans suspension, and sport-tuned geometry made it a razor-sharp screamer on both road and track. Clip-ons were low and aggressive, demanding a focused riding posture, while the minimal solo seat and high-mounted exhaust centralized mass for razor-like handling. A singular, menacing owl eye headlight gave it character, and the full race livery screamed championship intent. Braking came from top-shelf Brembo calipers and discs, ensuring you could rein in that power without drama. Only 500 were made for the world market, making it a unicorn even in its day. Crazy, isn't it? But only one bike can wear the crown. Let's meet our champion at number 1. Number 1, 1988 Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10 Tomcat. And at number 1, we crown the 1988 Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10 Tomcat, the fastest production motorcycle of its era and the bike we all wish would come roaring back. Its 998cc liquid-cooled inline-4 pumped out a staggering 135 horsepower in stock trim, rocketing from 0 to 60 miles per hour in an unprecedented 2.8 seconds. Kawasaki's Unitrack rear suspension and anti-dive forks created a stable platform, while a beam-type aluminum frame kept weight in check. Ergonomically, the ZX-10 balanced extreme clip-ons with a surprising ergonomic tank shape, letting you tuck in for blasting down straights, yet still feel in control in the turns. Twin 300mm front discs with 4 piston calipers provided braking that would shame many modern superbikes. Aerodynamic fairing and dual round headlights gave it an aggressive, jet-like presence on the road. But beyond sheer specs, it was the Tomcat's ferocious mid-range surge and mechanical symphony that left riders breathless. With its unmatched combination of raw speed, advanced chassis tech, and legendary Kawasaki reliability, the Ninja ZX-10 Tomcat stands as the undisputed fastest 1980s motorcycle, and our top pick. We desperately want it back. And there you have it, the 20 fastest motorcycles from the 1980s that we still yearn for today. So which of these retro rockets would you resurrect first? Drop it in the comments. And hey, if this list brought back some 1980s bike dreams, give it a like, subscribe, and hit the bell. We've got more vintage speed demons coming your way soon.